So one of the things I want you to stop and kind of think about first is everything that is happening in our life is happening in our body. Like wherever you go, your body's there. Whatever you're thinking, your body's there. Whatever you're feeling, your body's there. Wherever you are, your body is with you wherever you are. And it's having an experience. So what is the experience? Like, how do you know you're a 7? What are you feeling? Is your blood pressure low? Is your heart rate low? Is your respiratory rate low? Like, how do you know when you're in a state of peace? Because our body gives us information. And we clearly know when we're in a state of war or conflict or pissed off or annoyed or frustrated, right? Because our body gives us information about that too. But we all get it differently. Like when I'm at conflict or at war or agitated, I have this little pocket right below my adrenal glands, and it's always like fight or flight, fight or flight, fight or flight. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Right? Really? Seriously. Because I tend to withdraw, like run up a tree and hide. That's my flight. Or attack, confront, challenge. So I just want you to be aware, what is your own personal body? How does your body know that you're in a state of peace? How do you know you're a 7? How do you know you're a 5? How did you choose that number for your state of being? What's the information that you're getting? What's the embodied experience of peace versus how do you know when you're in conflict, right? How do you know you're at war? What is your body telling you? What are the signs and symptoms of evidence? So how do you know? What's the feedback you either get from people in your world or from within your body that you're either at peace or in a state of agitation, frustration, anger, conflict? So just think about it. Some people like red up. You know, I can see clients just flush immediately. I'm like, ooh, we got some heat and energy going on in there, don't we? Right? Some of us cry, some of us yell, some of us withdraw. We all do something different. Some of it's learned, some of it's defense mechanisms that we learned to use as coping for survival. But what's most important is that, what do I do? What is my experience of being at peace inside? Is it a quiet mind, a calm heart, a soft, relaxed belly? How do you know? What's your experience of peace versus conflict, war? So John Lennon said in a song, all we're saying is give peace a chance. So John Lennon is probably, I don't know if you guys are probably too young, maybe? Am I like, do you guys know John Lennon? Oh, yeah. Okay. Do you know the song Imagine? So that he put out a vision, like imagine if everyone chose peace. That's basically what he was saying. Peace is a choice. Imagine what the planet would be like if everyone chose peace. Well, clearly that's not happening, right? Just drive on the 5 freeway. People are just not choosing, hey, no problem. You go, no, you go, right? That's not our experience. There was also a big saying, we had t-shirts and we marched, make peace, not war. Well, that's all really lovely to have those platitudes. Let's make peace, not war. Imagine all the world. But the problem with wanting world peace is we have to first be at peace within ourselves. So when people say, oh, I just want world peace, why can't we have global peace? Why can't everybody just get along? Well, because we don't know how to make peace with ourselves. So if you don't have peace within you, how the hell can you have peace with anything or anyone else in your world? The soul, I believe, the heart and the soul, the best part of us yearns for peace. Loves peace, loves harmony, loves that feeling of resonating, right? And getting along with everything just being good. The soul loves that. But the ego, the pain body, and the shadow, the ego wants to be right and win and be better. The pain body wants to be hurt and the victim. And the shadow just wants to blame, project, transfer, slime, and blame. So those 3 parts of us, which all of us have an ego, all of us have a pain body, and all of us have a shadow, Those parts love war, love drama, love trauma, let's revenge, avenge, keep score, tit for tat. That's not fair, right? Those parts of us love to go to war with, to be in conflict with, to go head to head with, right? But the soul's just like, really? Really? Can't we just be at peace? So we all have an internal battle, an internal struggle, an internal war, an internal conflict, every single one of us. There's not a person walking on the planet that doesn't wrestle or struggle. It's internal. So until we learn to carry our body in a state of being of peace, how can we possibly have world peace? You know, it sounds so good, but the reality is every single one of us has to take responsibility for maintaining a state of peace within us. So I'm going to just share with you some sayings and just kind of listen in, and then I'm just going to tell you Tawny's 3-step peace process. Okay? It hasn't like gone global or to the UN or anything, but this is how I work with it. So the Dalai Lama says, what can you do to promote world peace? Go home and love your family. It's got to start in your own family. It's got to start in your own relationships. So it first has to start within you and within your little community, your little tribe, your little family, right? So what do you want? You know, we want world peace. Can't everybody get along? Why are there so many wars? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, hello, what is the level of peace in your own home? So first of all, if you want world peace, go home and create it within your own home, within your own family. The other thing the Dalai Lama says, don't let the behavior of others destroy your peace. How many times do you let a tone of voice, a sarcastic comment, somebody rolls their eyes, they say they don't like your shirt, rob you of your peace? How many times do you give other people power over your peace? The Dalai Lama says, why would you do that? Why would you let other people's behavior rob you of your peace? The Buddha said, peace comes from within. Do not seek it outside of you. It's not out here. Well, if this, and this were right, then I would be at peace. Well, you're never going to be at peace because too many external circumstances have to be just right for you to be at peace. So it's about learning to be at peace within you, even if the whole world around you is going crazy. That's what Nelson Mandela said. You can lock me up 25 years, you can deprive me of food, you can harass me, taunt me, right? But you cannot control what I think or feel. That takes a lot of discipline, especially under those circumstances. Inner peace, this is what the Buddha also says, inner peace is having nothing to prove and everything to give. See, the ego has everything to prove and nothing to give. But true inner peace has nothing to prove and everything to give. Jesus says, I give you peace, my peace is yours. Do not be anxious about anything. But in all things, present your requests before God. Pray with thanksgiving, and the peace that transcends understanding will be yours. Peace that transcends understanding. So that's the peace that doesn't make sense. The peace you have in the midst of crazy circumstances. That you can maintain and keep your peace even in the midst of war, emergency room experiences, all hell breaking loose. Wayne Dyer, one of Stephen's and my beloved teachers, says, this is my bottom line that I really want to teach today in this talk, is that peace is accepting life as it is, not as you think it should be. So peace is accepting what's real, rather than, well, it shouldn't be that way. It should be like this. Wanting things to be other or different than they are, right? So peace is accepting what is, not what you think, how you think things should be. We suffer when we think things should be different according to our way and our will. rather than just, this is what it is. I accept and allow and embrace that. Now, let's take something very disturbing that I think all of us would agree is not okay. In Africa, they take little girls and they cut their clitorises out. Any country where little girls are sex slaved, where they're deprived of their sexuality, where women are being oppressed, repressed, suppressed, depressed, hidden under burqas, can't drive a car, all of that kind of stuff. We all think, well, how can I be at peace with that? So the peace in that is that is what is. That's just real. I can advocate, I can do something about it, but being at war with it doesn't change it. Hating it, talking about it, judging it, doesn't really change it. So it's real, it's happening. What am I going to do to make that better? But going to war with it, being at conflict with it. So advocating is a way to say that's not okay, that's not right, and I am going to do something with my energy, my power, my voice, my money, whatever. But going to war with it, then all of your energy is just spinning in the conflict. You're not really an activist. Here's my 3-step process. We always have the free will to choose to be in a state of peace. We do. We always have the free will choice to be in a state of peace. So first step is make peace a choice. Make peace. And it's a choice, and it's an inside job. Okay? So make peace with your past. Can you rewrite it? Can you relive it? I have not found a way to travel to my past and make some different decisions or choices. They are what they are. Why not make peace with your past? What's the point of wrestling with it, being at war with it, being in conflict with it, wanting it to be different, or it's already happened? So if there's anything in your past that you're not at peace with, I understand. I got a gnarly past, but I'm kind of going, okay, that's insanity. To want it to be different, to be at war with it, to be in conflict with it, what's the point? Anybody here been able to rewrite, do over, delete, erase? No. It is what it is. It's already happened. Those choices have been made. Those experiences have been had. Is it fair? Is it right? Probably not. Did you deserve better? Probably. Right? We all have our story, but it is what it is. So make peace with your past. What do you have to lose? Nothing. What do you have to gain? Everything. So anytime we wrestle with our past, with our history, whether it's the one we created by our own choices or what people did to us or circumstances, I'm just really not sure that the energy is well invested. Make peace with your future. Right? None of us really know if we're going to wake up tomorrow. So just know that your future is unknown. It's a mystery. Who knows if you're even going to get tomorrow or the next day or next week. So just make peace with showing up in your future. Just show up one day at a time with whatever's real in that moment. A lot of people have a lot of anxiety about the future. You know, they're kind of at war and at conflict with their future. Well, what about this? Well, what about this? Well, what about... I hear it all day long, every single day. Well, if this, then that. What about this? What about that? What if she says this? What if he does that? I'm like, holy shit. And I'm really not sure that all of that energy changes the future. So make peace with your past, make peace with your future so you can show up fully present today. Because I'm not sure battling, being at war with your future or your past is going to change anything. The other thing you want to make peace with is your body. I know very few women who are at peace with their body. Most women are cutters, what I call cutters, like the language that women use inside, that voice, that negative, critical, judgmental voice, you might as well just be cutting yourself. Most women do not have peace with their body. They're at war with it. There's a conflict. They're judgmental, negative, critical. Right? Anybody have that experience? So why wouldn't you make peace with your body? It's about wanting things to be different than they really are, rather than loving and accepting and embracing this beautiful body and all of the amazing things it does. At peace with your mind. How many of you do you allow your mind to take you like to some really crazy places? Dark, demons, dragon, right? Yeah, like my mind can take me sideways in a New York minute. Stephen's like, how did you get there? Oh, it's easy, quick, like that, you know? He can say one word and I'm like in the depths of darkness. So making peace with your mind, which means just bringing your mind back to right here. Like we tell these, like telling a story and then you follow the story, you travel the story, right? It's not even happening in reality. It's not even really happening. The only place that story is happening is right here. Like you're having it all by yourself. It's not even real, and it only exists between your ears. Isn't that the most amazing things? You can talk your daughter into, like Chelsea would be late on curfew. She's in a ditch and she's dead and someone's going to come by and pick her up and right? And she's really just at 7-Eleven buying a soda and running late and was rude and inconsiderate and didn't call. But haven't you all told yourself so many stories? That mind can rob you of your peace so fast. So make peace with your mind. Don't let your mind be a conflict creator, a storyteller, a liar, right? Make peace with your heart. Heart's been broken? So is mine. Anybody here never had their heart broken? Right? Welcome to humanity on the planet Earth and gravity. Tits sag, hearts get broken. That's make peace with it. Make peace with it. If you're going to have a child, you're going to suffer, your heart's going to break, you're going to worry, you're going to lose sleep. If you're going to have a child, make peace with all that comes with that. Make peace with your heart. If you're going to be in a relationship, Stephen and I personally believe you could go to an ashram in India and have a guru and find nirvana and bliss. And that's one path of enlightenment. We particularly believe in relationships. Marriage is a pathway to enlightenment. You want to evolve and enlighten, get into a relationship. Because your ego's going to show up, your pain body's going to get challenged, and you're going to have shadow. Boxing, shadow sparring, shadow dancing, everything shadow. So make peace that if you're going to be in a relationship, there's going to be trouble. There's going to be opportunity for growth. But make peace with it. Make peace with the fact that if you choose relationship, it's going to be difficult and challenging. If you're going to have children, make peace. So if you're going to put your heart out in the world in a relational way, just make peace with the fact it's going to get stepped on, stomped on, hurt. It's just part of being human. So make peace with your heart, make peace with your mind. Don't let your mind be your biggest liar storyteller that takes you crazy places. Make peace with your spirit, whatever that is, whatever your relationship with spirit or God is like. So make peace with whatever it is that is your inheritance, your legacy, your DNA. Make peace with your DNA, with your story, with your family. Just make peace with it. Because I don't know anybody who's been able to fight their DNA, fight their circumstances, like what country you're born in. Like, you don't like being born in America? Oh, well, be pissed about that. Like, how's that going to work? You want to be born in Sweden? Good luck with that. Climb back in? I don't know. So make peace with whatever your spiritual circumstances are. I was born and raised in an atheist home. There is no God. Anybody who believes in God, a bunch of bullshit. Well, I was seeing angels like at 3. What do I do with that? I had to make peace. Make peace with your spirit, your heart, your mind, and your body. Making peace with your family. Your family's your family. You didn't choose your family. You were born into your family. Just make peace with that to the best of your ability. So with family, you just do the best you can to make peace with whatever is real. So make peace with your family. We don't always get the family that we would like. And if you want your family to be different, your kids to be different, you know, you're not going to be at peace with that. So make peace with your family. What about friends? Make peace with your friends. I have a belief that people come into our life for a reason, a season, and very few lifers. So I've had people come in my life for a reason. We were on the same dance team. We're on the same swim team. We went to college together. We lived on the same dorm, right? So people come into your life for a reason. And they stay for a season. But the ones that hang for life, the ones that are there, pretty rare, pretty few. So just be at peace with that friends come and go. But make peace with the fact that friends come and go. And usually there's a reason or a season. If you get a lifer or two, meaning somebody that is in your life 30, 40, 50, 60 years, that's rare. That's rare. Cherish those. But make peace with the fact that co-workers, friends, acquaintances, neighbors, they move, they come, they go, right? So just be at peace with that. Lovers, make peace with your lovers. That's probably the hardest place to make peace, keep peace, because that's the place we dance with all of our stuff. So the people that you choose to be in relationship with romantically, make peace, make nice, play nice. But that's the most vulnerable place for the ego, pain, body, and shadow. And the last one is make peace with yourself. Make peace with yourself. And there's only one way I have found to make peace with myself. Forgive myself. Let myself off the hook. We do what we do till we know better. When we know better, we do better. I've had to let myself off the hook, off the hook, off the hook. Because otherwise I have no peace with myself, with my past. Right? So I think the most difficult one is making peace with your lovers, the person you're in a love relationship with, an intimate relationship with, and making peace with yourself. On the Tawny 3-step peace process is you've got to be able to make peace. And it's a choice. We all have free will. And you can choose to be at peace with or in conflict with. At peace or at war. It's as simple as that. It really is as simple as making a choice. And picking your battles. Like, pick your battles, the things that really matter. You know, the abuse of animals, the abuse of children. I mean, things that really matter. Choose to advocate or to be an activist, to do something to change direction of those things rather than going at war. So really, life is about choosing things to be an enemy or an ally. So the other things that keep us from peace, from making peace, why we don't choose to make peace, are addiction to drama. Turn on reality TV, Bravo or whatever that channel is. We have an addiction to drama. We have an addiction to trauma. We like to keep score. Anybody here keep score? Keeping score, okay? Revenge. I can't believe my neighbor put his trash can over on my side. What can I do? I think I'll just run it over. I think I'll back over. Obviously. We think of how to revenge or avenge wrongs. Teach somebody a lesson. That'll teach them. Punish. We want things to be fair. Well, it's not fair. Hello, memo. Life is not fair, never going to be fair. And so it's better to be at peace than to keep score and want things to be fair. Never going to be fair. What about tit for tat? Well, you did that, so I did that. Well, you spent $500 on it, so I spent $1,000. You know, that whole tit for tat thing. Learn to let things go. I call it duck back. Ducks, right? They let things roll, wash off their back. Learn to let things go a little quicker, a little easier, a little lighter. But we just like, hold on. And notice it, to hold on, battle ready. To let go, available for a hug, for peace. This is an open, receptive position, but I've got to let go. So I have a little hand thing I do. When I start to go like this and I can feel myself doing this, I try to just let it go, let it go, let it go. So So remember, your ego doesn't want to let it go because your ego wants to win and be right and be better than. And your pain body doesn't want to let it go because you're the victim and you've been so wounded and you're so hurt and harmed and you're probably never going to recover. And then the shadow wants to say, you, blame, right? Project, transfer, slime. You, scapegoat, blame. So the shadow, a lot of people ask me about that. The shadow is a disowned part of ourself that we project onto another person. So when I judge another person and I have a really strong reaction to something in their personality and I get triggered, it's a part of me that I'm not like, hello, right? I'm not owning a part of me. So remember, the soul loves peace and you can make peace. It's a choice. Now the next two steps are easy. The first one's the hardest one. You got to choose to be at peace with what is. The second one is, how do you keep the peace? So one thing is making peace, but then how long can you hold peace? How long can you maintain, sustain, and contain peace with your beloved, with your children, with your boss, with your body, with your mind, with yourself? So making it's one thing. How long can you keep it and hold it? And I have a handout. I only just want to read one part of it and then we'll close. A woman decided to start, and I have these if you want to take them with you. A woman decided to start a flower garden. She prepared the soil and planted the seeds of many beautiful flowers. But when they came up, her garden was filled not just with her chosen flowers, but it was overrun by dandelions. She sought out advice from gardeners all over and tried every method known to get rid of them, but to no avail. Finally, she walked all the way to the capital to speak to the master gardener at the Queen's palace. The wise old woman had counseled many gardeners before and suggested a variety of remedies to expel the dandelions, but the woman had already tried them all. They sat together in silence for some time, and finally the master gardener looked at the woman and said, "Well then, I suggest you learn to love them." So you can go to war against the dandelions and try to get rid of them, but at some point maybe you just make peace with them and you learn to embrace and to love and to accept and allow that in your life, in your garden, there are going to be some dandelions. And those suckers are really hard to eradicate because they have all those gnarly little roots. You can pop the tops off, but those roots. So at some point, in order to keep the peace, once you've chosen to make peace, to keep it, you have to learn to just kind of love the messy, complicated, crazy parts of yourself. Arthur Miller said, until you can take that horrible, ugly, disfigured, gnarly, wounded, broken part of you and embrace it and love it and hug it and kiss it, you'll never be whole. So it's about accepting demons and dragons, all that you are. The good, the bad, the ugly, the weak, the strong. So it's just, that's where peace is just being human and accepting being human. But again, keeping the peace is an inside job and only you can choose it. So make peace, inside job. Keep peace, inside job. How? Free will, choose it. And be at peace with what is. People are going to cut you off, guaranteed. You're going to get sick, guaranteed. Husband's going to piss you off, guaranteed. Children are, really? That's just life. And the last thing, the third thing then is to pass the peace. So make it, keep it, and then pass it. Be a person at the post office that exudes peace. Be a person in the grocery store line that just is at peace. What if you took this peace you've made and kept within you and walked about in the world? And just leave your fingerprint of peace wherever you go. Bring peace. Be a peace bringer, a peace offerer. I was in the grocery store and there was this little girl just wailing. Mommy, I hate you. And I just decided, obviously the mom was really stressed out, so I just went over and I just engaged the little girl in a conversation. I don't know, she had like little pink bows on her shoes or something. Just distracted her, talked to her, engaged her. right? I just brought a little peace, and she calmed down and quieted down. I think she probably forgot that she was screaming over Oreos or something, right? It didn't take anything. And I've been a mom with a screaming 3-year-old. I would have loved for someone to bring a little peace to the cart, right? So then we can pass the peace. Be the first one to say, I'm sorry. What are we fighting about? A weed whacker? Really? I can't believe we're fighting. You know, be the first one to offer the olive branch. Your ego doesn't want you to. Your ego doesn't want you to make nice and make peace and offer the olive branch and say, I'm sorry, this is ridiculous. Like, really? If I die tonight, am I going to die being pissed off about the weed whacker? Like, that's ridiculous. So, make and keep peace within you, and then pass and offer peace. That's how we create world peace. First within, with God, with self, with all of your world, and then start with your significant others and your children, the home, a peaceful home, and then friends, and it'll ripple out. Okay, so that's my challenge to you. Make peace, keep peace, pass peace.